Good day, Podcast Pete here. Pete Kane is my real name, but I have a gift for you today, and the gift will keep giving forever. Does that sound a little bold? Yes, it is. If you listen, you'll understand, and hopefully you'll implement. Okay, the gift is on your phone. Yes, it's on your phone. Let me put a little context to it. It used to be that we would get a new iPhone for the camera because it was making so many dramatic, innovative advancements that everybody loves pictures. So, what the heck? If it comes out and it's so remarkable, we figure out a way to get it. And we sleep, we get on a waiting list, we talk about it, we do everything to get that new iPhone because the camera drives it all. Well, let's look at the last few years. You can only make so many advancements because it's kind of like you eat a pizza. The first slice, oh my gosh, it's so good. Second slice, not as good. Third slice, nothing. It goes to the diminishing return happens, and it happens in everything. These are kind of like gravity principles. You can say it doesn't happen, but it does. You can believe whatever you want to believe, and you're entitled to believe that. But you can't say gravity doesn't work. Just drop something. So anyway, let me get back to the gift that's going to keep giving. Okay. They have shifted, and I found this by accident. A younger friend of mine, he's been on a lot of my podcasts, Lucas Mota from Barcelona, Spain. Unbelievable golfer, accomplished golfer, came here on a scholarship from Spain to play at West Georgia and then KSU. So now he's in the business world. We're talking after our Rotary, which I'm going to in a few minutes. And I'm explaining something. I'm showing him something, Growth Day. And I'm showing him the different features on it. And I get to the journaling feature. Yep, that's the gift, journaling. And he says, well, this is what I use. I said, well, what is it? And he goes to the journaling app on the iPhone. And I said, oh, I've seen that. Didn't know what it was. So he goes on and he shows me a couple things. The light bulb goes off. Man, this could be pretty cool. I go and I start journaling what I learned the previous day, what my goals are, people that I met, just different things that I learned during the day. And it started to emotionally charge me up because we want to use this for thinking, not storing a lot of data, not being busy, but thinking. I spend pretty much the first 5 hours of every day in total silence. Total silence. Why do I do that? I'm thinking, I'm journaling, I'm planning, I'm implementing, I'm listening to things that I think will be beneficial to me. Then I put in there what I learned. So anyway, I start using this and I go to a meeting and I start telling it, speaking it, because voice to text is so powerful. And it's because I learned it at an early age when technology hit that I could speak and it would spell. I could speak and it could spell. Being dyslexic and ADD, spelling was not my forte. When you fail English in high school and it's your primary language, there's something going on there. When you try 2 times at Virginia Tech and don't even come close, something's going on there. So then you get tested and you hear the news. Well, didn't know what that meant. So I go 40 years struggling with a hidden, what I thought was label, slow. not being able to fit in to the current business world. And then, of course, it was the academic world. So technology started to change. I started to speak more. So I'm in a skank school, which if you're in Atlanta, you know about it. And if you're dyslexic, you probably know about it anyway. So they have a special grant. It's like $100. I could afford it. So I do it. And the lady, wonderful lady, and her name is Forrest something. Okay. So she tells me, hey, after I take the test, and you have to qualify. She said, I got good news and bad news. I said, okay, tell me. Which one? I said, give it to me however you want to give it to me. So she gives it to me. Good news is, well, let me tell you the bad news first. Okay. You have dyslexia. But let me tell you the good news. It's actually going to eventually be your superpower. And you're going to see in this class people that are a lot worse than you, can't read, can't function in a world that's not set up for them. They may be a blue collar and they can't read instructions, whatever it is. It was absolutely dead on. I was absolutely shocked. I had it. Definitely threw me off, put me in sometimes, lots of times, dark spots. Because when you don't fit in, when you can't function, when you can't communicate through email, when you're trying to write and you just can't spell that word, it just doesn't come to you, then you think something is wrong and you're trying to fit in. So every email, if an email went out, there'd be half a dozen or more misspelled words. And you spend so much time, they say, well, look it up in the dictionary. Well, if you don't know how to spell a word, how do you look it up? I mean, not being able to get the first letter on some things. So you can't stop, look it up because you can't find it. So she tells me, she goes, have you ever heard of Google's voice to text in Google Drive? I said, no. So that opened up a world to me because then I could speak it on the app, transfer it to the email. So at least now I could spell words better. But it was still very discombobulated because I was living on my phone speaking emails into Google Docs before Siri and then putting it in to email. Then Siri came out and then Alexa came out. Well, they probably both came out at the same time. It just changed it. I ask Alexa every day how to spell a word because I'm constantly journaling. So here's the gift. Self-reflection and what you learn and who you meet and the lessons in that day can be captured in the journaling app. So it's on your phone. Click it. We'll try to put something in the show notes that you can click to it. I don't have the ability right now to give you, like you see people that'll flash their iPhone on their screen here. I can do it, but I haven't been able to figure it out just yet on a Mac. So anyway, that'll be available. But here's the gift. Start using it. Start reflecting. What did you learn the previous day? What are your goals? Talk to it. Do it in the voice because you can speak faster than you can type. And the idea is not like journaling is good. When I journal, I write in my journal. But I also have this. I was somebody that when Evernote came out many years ago, I have 26,000 digital notes. So you can see that I like that kind of stuff to remember things because this is a thinking machine. That has now become, over the last 3 years, an incredible superpower for me because one, I've always been geared towards human behavior, relationships, people, love being around people. Now I think more deeply. I record what I learn. So every day it's exponentially growing in my ability to get things done, to strategize, to look at things differently. Because I say in other videos, you're either on the purpose plane or the busy bus. You want to be on a purpose plane because it flies above noise and distractions. Buses go where they want to go. They're noisy, they're distractions. So if you can take your mind and put it in a plane where it's above the noise and start thinking more and utilizing your journaling app. So get it, just search it. One time it wasn't on somebody's phone, but it was always on my phone. I don't know. Maybe that person didn't get updates. So anyway, I'm using it. I'm using it. I probably like 30 days I've been using it. And I go to Chat GPT and I say, is there a search function on the journaling app? And I was like thinking, maybe I just didn't see it. I always know the search function, the little hourglass. So I'm sitting there on a Saturday. It might have been a Saturday or Sunday, one of those 2 days. It was a weekend. And I update my phone and I go in to do my normal journaling, reflection, start putting content in there that I think is relevant to me. And I see the search hourglass. Now, I absolutely just could not believe the joy that came over me that now I could search the most powerful, what I could see, app on that phone. And it had so much functionality to it. But now, and if you know what I'm talking about, if you're a journaler, I mean, I got plenty of journals there, but try to find something in a paper journal, like you knew something was good. Now, my partner, Jeff Bourgeois, has a journal out there that he actually categorizes everything so he can continue to develop ideas and find it. That's rare. Most 99.9% of the people don't do that. So here you can find anything. You search by word, you put information in there that's relevant to you. What did you learn that day? Who did you meet? What about that person would you want to be able to recall when you want to? And the key thing is recall, because names are important, lessons you learn are important, and being able to talk it through. There's even an audio function. You could talk in there something, but it'll transcribe it, because always get used to doing the microphone, because you can speak. Siri's getting so accurate, so good at transcribing what you say. You just got to learn the pace of your words. And that way you won't get, I used to get, what do you call it? Something where your thumbs ache because you're doing things in a small area. I forget what it's called, but you know what I mean. So now I speak everything, even to the point where I'll go, Siri, turn on my Bluetooth. Siri, do this. Go to Audible. It's going on now, right now. Let me turn this thing off. So I do it because I'm so programmed and used to using it. And I'll watch people when they're doing something and their tendency is to type. Well, you speak faster than you type. So now we're getting into the AI world, and speed is everything. Your time is the one thing you only have 24 hours. Everybody has the same. Elon Musk, 24 hours. Pete Kane, 24 hours. What he does, 24 hours. I heard a podcast and they said, what, this guy knew him. This is so important to journaling. So what he does, 3 companies, and he visits each company once a week, and he solves the biggest problem. And if it means get with the engineer, no more a memo, we're going to have a meeting in 3 weeks and bring your best ideas. He goes right to the person and say, we're going to figure this thing out. And he does. He has such a figure things out kind of brain. And it's just been developed over years and years and years and years and years that he takes 3 companies once a week and solves the biggest problem. Now, apply that to your business. Look at each day. I'm done by 1. I'm done by 1. I get up between 2 and 3:30. Just depends when I go to bed. I go to bed about 8 o'clock. Don't think that I can do like Donald Trump and get 4 hours sleep. I need about 6. But that's been I tracked my sleeping over 5 years on the sleep app. I got 6 hours and 31 minutes. Average over 5 years. So I do track things. But now with AI, we're getting into the most powerful transformation in our lifetime. And if you don't learn how to, 1, reflect, 2, work with speed, speaking to text, capturing the AI potential in your business, because AI is going to be exponentially doubling in kind of like that what is it called? Gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. Let's see. Exponential growth. No, it's compounding effect. The compounding effect is one of the biggest secrets to money is if you can compound and just save, like you put something away and it compounds over 50 years. It's like, whoa, the numbers are crazy. So that's what AI is going to do, because it's going to be compounding. Breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, everybody applying it to their business, and it's going to compound. So the speed, one day will be like 5 years. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's my own thing, because I've been around Jeff Bourgeois. He has a free course. So if you're not embracing that into your business, you're not going to be able to catch up. If you wait a year to kind of see what's going on, too late. It'll pass you by. That's how powerful it is. And if you look, one example, then I'm gonna wind it down. Okay, Bitcoin. It's in the news. Michael Saylor, I think he's predicting, and I don't know the number, but I think there's like 5 million coins. There's a limited number. So the scarcity or the limited number, you can't just print dollar bills. It's a finite number. Started out, I had a landlord. This was back, I don't know, 6 years. We sold a house, didn't know where to go, got a townhouse, met this guy. He was a great guy, fun guy. We would always have conversations. He'd come over and fix something and we'd talk. And so he was investing in Bitcoin way back 5 years ago, something like that. It was about 1,000, I think. And over that time, that 2 years, I think, it had gone to maybe 6,000, something like that. But it had been volatile up and down. And so I asked him, I said, what's your strategy on this? He goes, well, I'm taking a percentage of my investment portfolio and I'm putting it in. If it hits, it's going to be good. It'll be generational wealth. If it doesn't, well, I won't miss it, but I'm gambling. At that point, he was gambling. So now, as of this video, I think it's 106. So if he kept up with that strategy, buying it at 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5,000, look what he's going to have wealth created. And that's the same with AI. You wait, it'll be like Bitcoin. It'll be obvious. And that's early adopters. It's never so obvious as it is down the road, because time brings us to the point where Wow, that's cool. And you want to be the early adopter in anything because right now, AI is just learn, dig in, listen to some podcasts, get your questions answered, take the mini course. Let me see if I can put it up here because I want you to be, let me see, banner. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, take this mini course, petekane.me/AI. Take the mini course free. Learn about it. Discover the world that's about to change and do it sooner than later. Because later, you ain't going to be able to catch up. You wait a year, no way you'll catch up. You do it now, you learn about it. You're on the front end of you're the early adopter of mindset. You'll be you'll be talking about generational wealth because if you implement it with us, this is where I want to give you the masterclass, another gift. So journaling, get the journaling app, play with it, start with it. Start, what did you learn the previous day? What are your goals? Just talk it into the journal. Who did you meet? What was the conversation like? I was on a call. He was on my podcast, Christian, and he sent me something. He was doing a webinar or something like that. And I found out for the first time in my life, everybody's heard of PTSD, but there's a thing called PTSD, but instead of the PTSD, it's postpartum growth, postpartum tragic growth. So when you go through tragedy, it changes you. Just like I went through a stroke, changed me. Nobody can understand it unless they go through it. Living with ADD and dyslexia, going through dark, dark times because you're not fitting in, you're slow, and things are slow according to the world, and trying to keep up and it just doesn't work. I could tell you some horror stories with that, but that's for another day, another time. So what we're doing here is giving you the keys to the future. And that you take this masterclass free. You don't even have to give me an email. Just take it. Learn. Every single step in this masterclass is scalable. Every single step you can participate in it. You can plug your business into it. It's beyond me, but it is there. And there'll be people talking about it in a year saying, man, I wish I would have taken his video, his challenge, and stopped long enough, got off the busy bus, got on the purpose plane, started to think, started to learn, started to apply AI to my business, started to use assessments, started to do podcasts, digital assets, put in play the magazine, the community building collaborative magazine, being a brand ambassador, amplifying your social media, applying that AI to your business, because time is the only thing you have that's finite, 24 hours. So if you can buy back your time, which you can with Jeff's course, buy back 10 hours a week. What could you do with 10 hours of thinking, strategy, working on higher level problems, just like Elon Musk? Solve the biggest problem every week. 3 companies. Look at the results. He's going to be the first trillionaire that we have in America. Trillion with a T. Beyond B. so hey, maybe not, but at least I shared it with you. And I can see things because of just the way my brain is wired. And I have spent 3 years of intense learning, intense thinking, implementing. And our team in the Philippines, they're unbelievable. Team Trexa. She is a doer and she gets things done. So when I have an idea, put it in her camp and she implements it. And you got to be able to implement fast. because speed is everything. And business is simply a game. We're rewarded by the dollars, or maybe soon to be coins, bitcoins. That's all it is. And Elon is winning big. And he's winning big because the market is paying him on the value. I heard the other day, he doesn't even have like a Tesla. There's no like marketing department. It's people talking about your product. You don't need that if your story and your service is so shareable. Get the book, This is Strategy by Seth Godin. You'll understand strategy. And you'll understand 21 books, and this is his best, I think, because it's on strategy. And you got to have a strategy going into the AI world because everything is changing. Everything. And it's going to change fast. And you want to be on that plane, that purpose plane, knowing what you want. But start using, I could talk all day long on this, but I value your time. And I want you to share this with somebody that you think you want to bless this holiday season. Share this, pkane.me/masterclass. And just see it. I think it'll be on Spotify here by the end of the week. Because I want you to listen to in your car. If you understand this ecosystem, and look at the most valuable company in the world. It's called Apple. They have an ecosystem. And when Steve Jobs put this together, brilliant. Do you know that the revenue per employee, it's the highest in the world, is $2 million at Apple? $2 million. He's probably, I think it's like 40% more than the closest person. I mean, Facebook's up there, Google's up there, Microsoft's up there. But these are technology, so they can leverage it. And because of technology changing the world, we're not in the industrial world anymore. We're in a digital world. Create digital assets. Daniel Priestley. Check out the first one. If you go and you take our assessment, which is Daniel Priestley, just Google him and take the assessment. I got to know where you are to help you because I'd like to put you on my podcast, but I got to know who you are. So if you want your story to be shared, take an assessment. And when you take that assessment, you'll understand it's the number one of our ecosystem. The ecosystem is everything. Number 9 is AI, Jeff's course, free course. So this is the blessing to you is the journaling. Check it out. Start using it. Doesn't do any good to just look at it on the iPhone. It's to use it. Use the power of the ecosystem that's changing on that iPhone. No more can we improve that camera to the point that people talk about it. But here I am talking to you, and I tell anybody that I can about this journaling app. So you want that in your business. You want your story to be shared. You want it to be shared. Same with the book, This is Strategy. Buy the book. Get it on Audible. Learn how he thinks. There's like, I don't know how many different, it's no pages, but there's different numbers because people are going to be talking about how he did it yesterday. So it's happening. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have the most joyful holiday season, and 2025 is your best year ever. Be bold, make an impact, and have fun.